Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Razovy, and today we're going to talk about the top 10 hidden anime gems that I believe are worth a watch and you most likely have not watched yet. Now, if this sounds familiar, well, you're right. I actually made another video that was called Top 10 Anime Hidden Gems. I'll leave a link to this video in the pinned comment so that you can take a look at it. Do me a favor, watch this video first, because, well, it helps me out more than you might think to watch all of my videos. But definitely take a look at this one too, because this video was actually 100% worth it, if I do say so myself. But let's start off with Copcraft. Now, for some reason, and I genuinely don't understand why, this went under the radar for a lot of people, and I don't get why. This is so cool. We basically follow a policeman, a detective, whatever you want to call him. He's called Kei Matoba, and he basically he lives in an era where certain portals open up or something, and basically they lead to an alternate world, and in this and a lot of immigrants from this alternate world come into our world to settle down, right, to immigrate, and it's kind of hard to stop these immigrants from coming to Earth, and he basically is going to pair up with one of those other worlders, if I can say that. I'm not going to pronounce her name because that would be hell, but he's going to pair up with her, and they are going to form like this detective team. And as you can imagine, since the world is really changing very fast, these other worlders also start to, of course, form groups, and also crime groups, as you can imagine, because all of these people that now have no home, they need to get money somehow, and they bring in new types of drugs and all that kind of stuff. It's such a cool concept. Like, Copcraft is, when it comes to the setting, it's so freaking cool. And basically these two are now going to have to try to stop any criminal act from both the people from our world as from the people from the other world. And it's a really fun and interesting concept. Like, it's like this buddy police cop show between a person from our world and a person from the other world, and of course they don't like each other at first, and eventually they go to like each other. It's very cool, and this is what I would call an adult anime, centered around adults, centered around an adult theme with adult characters, and I really like that. This is not your typical high school nonsense, right? Which is so normal for the anime medium. So that's also why I like this so much. Copcraft, very much worth it in my humble opinion. Then we go to Girlish Number, and Girlish Number, again, flew under the radar for a lot of people, and I honestly, God, do not know why. Basically, we follow a girl called Chitose, and she is trying to make it in the world of seiyuu, so voice acting, right? Specifically for anime in this case, and she's trying to make it, and I know already what a lot of people are thinking right now. Oh wow, look at how cute they look, this must be one of those really sugar sweet anime. Hell no. Nope, you are completely wrong. This show focuses a lot on adult theming, on actual what it's like to work, right, as an adult. And these are not like, they might look cute, fair enough, but this is not your typical cutesy story of cute girls doing cute things or something. This is not it. This is basically this guy Gojo. He helps his sister, right, Chitose, to make it, but it's hard because as you can imagine, any business, no matter which business it is corrupt in some way or form. So these two have to kind of work together, even though they don't like each other very much, but he's her manager, to have her become popular so that they can both make money from it. And it's hard because they have to pair up with people that are annoying and horrible and that kind of stuff. So and we also follow people that are genuinely really sweet, like her, like Yai, who most likely won't make it. Of course, this is not a spoiler, by the way, you'll see this for yourself, but it's just again an adult story with adult characters doing adult things, and that's also most likely why this didn't catch on, because that is not what, especially in the West, that is not what anime is in the West, right? In the West, it's always the fighting stuff, the shonen stuff. And I believe that Copcraft and Girlish Number are these very cool stories where we actually follow an adult doing adult things, and I like that a lot. And also the art style, of course, this is my own personal taste, but the art style is gorgeous. I really like this art style. It is one of my favorite art styles when it comes to anime and stuff. Then we have Funeo Amu, and again, this is centered around adults. I was actually planning on doing another one first, but I won't do that. I will actually talk about this one first. We follow a guy called Mitsuya Majime. And Majime is a person that lives quite the boring life. He is quite shy. He is not really good at interacting with people. And eventually, he at his job, he meets a woman, and he falls in love. And at first, we follow basically the way that they get together. Then we follow them actually living together, and then we also follow his career. We follow her career. This is it doesn't get more slice of life than this, and we follow the troubles that come with being an adult. We follow him being incredible, like we follow Mitsuya being incredibly awkward and eventually growing as a person. He's also very how should I put it? He's very obsessed with words and conveying his thoughts in words, like putting it on paper and stuff. It's kind of hard to describe, but if you like slice of life, and I'm not talking about the cutesy stuff, just regular slice of life anime stuff, it doesn't really get any better than this, in my opinion. Like, this is really good, and I honest to God don't understand why so many people haven't watched this. I guess for a lot of people this is boring, because I mean there's no action. There really isn't, and the romance aspect is also not really highlighted all that much. Like I said, it's a very down to earth way of describing a story and of showing anyone's life, basically. So I can see why for a lot of people this might not be as exhilarating as any action anime, but I do believe, in my humble opinion, that this is a hidden gem. It really, really is. This is really good, Funo Amu. And there's also quite some tearjerker moments in this anime that you would not expect, really. It's awesome, Funo Amu. Then we have one of my all-time favorites, and this is one of my, well, like I said, one of my all-time favorites, but I understand that for a lot of people this might not really appeal to them, but I still consider this to be a hidden gem, because if you enjoy stories like this and you haven't watched it yet, that's quite a shame. We basically follow a girl called Ika Musume, which literally means Squid Girl, and she basically is, or she in the first episode, she tries to conquer Earth. So basically, she is very upset about the fact that we are polluting the sea, right? And therefore, she's now going to conquer Earth. But basically, the moment that she sets foot on the beach, she encounters a like a restaurant type of thing, a beach house type of thing, where two girls who own the place, Eiko and Chizuru, they run the place, and she encounters them, and she breaks, or actually she puts a hole in the wall, right? And Chizuru doesn't like this, and therefore forces Ika Musume to work off her debt, because she made a hole in the wall, so she has to work off her debt. Now, of course, this is just a setup to a very fun and cutesy story, which I can see not a lot of people might like. But if you aren't a slice of life, something like K-On!, something like those types of stories, you're going to love this too. I just know you are. But this is not, like I just talked about 3 very adult theming shows. This is not it, of course. This is very cutesy. But if you like the kind of stuff, this is definitely a hidden gem for you. I really believe that it is. Then we have not a cutesy story at all. This is Satsika No Tenshi, and this is a horror story. I'm not sure if you're not good with horror, I would advise you to stay away from this. It is not as gory as some anime can be, but it is definitely gory, and some parts are definitely scary. But basically, we follow this girl called Rachel, and she wakes up somewhere in a building, and she has no recollection of what's happening or what happened. She has no clue at all. But she wants to get out, because she doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know if she has family, but she wants to get out. And once she tries to get out, she quite soon meets all types of really, really weird characters who want to off her, right? This is the first person she meets, or one of the first people she meets, Isaac. And she actually, I should not say that. That's a spoiler. But Isaac and Rachel pair up, even though at first he tries to offer to. That's all I'm going to say. I wanted to kind of give a spoiler, but I shouldn't do that. But yeah, so these two pair up, but at first he wants to offer to. We also meet this incredibly weird doctor that wants to do all kinds of horrible stuff to Rachel. We meet a boy obsessed with graves and with people and putting people in them. It's weird and shocking sometimes. It really is. But if you like horror, this one is good. Satsika No Tenshi is definitely good. And in my opinion, it's a hidden gem. Especially when it comes to the horror genre. I feel like too little people know about this. And that's a shame, because it's really freaking good. Then we have Harukana Receive. I'm currently reading the manga. I should update this because I actually have seen more than 4 episodes, but that doesn't really matter right now. I'm currently reading the manga, and we basically follow where is she? Haruka, and she moves to Okinawa. And there she meets up with her niece, who's called Kanata, and together they're going to form a volleyball team. A beach volleyball team, I should say. Kanata's very good at it. Haruka at first is not, but of course Kanata's going to teach her, and if you like K-On! And stuff, you're going to love this. Plus, the cool thing is, it's based around a sport, meaning that since it's based around a sport, you actually learn something from it, and there's actually some sort of competition, so it's more exhilarating than something like K-On! And stuff. It's very cool. I like this one a lot, and the manga is wonderful. Also, the manga is finished, which I also always tend to like. Like, I don't like having to wait for chapters all the time, so that's also definitely a positive thing. Then we have Kino Notabi, The Beautiful World, the animated series. Now, this is a from this whole list, I would consider this to be the most hidden gem of all of them. The reason that I say that is this is an incredibly good anime. One of the best, in my opinion, yet barely anyone knows about it. And that's truly a shame. We basically follow a young woman called Kino, and she travels around the world. Not our world, it's a very different setting. It's not necessarily fantasy, because there's no magic, but it's not our world, right? It's a fantasy world, and like I said, she travels around the world and meets all types of different characters, right? And every episode is like a different self-containing story. So at one point she travels to a country where murder is legal, but the weird thing is that no one is actually partaking in it, yet it's 100% legal. You can do it, and nothing would happen. You would not be put on trial. It's 100% okay. And that's kind of weird, right? So for example, we have that story. I won't spoil how that ends, of course, but in another story, she might actually help a young girl find her father. In another story, well, see it for yourself, but it is very cool. The only weird part is that her motorcycle, who's called Hermes, is able to talk. If you can get over that, if you can get over the fact that her motorcycle is able to talk, this is most likely one of the best hidden gems out there, and you should definitely watch Kino Notabi, The Beautiful World, the animated series. Now, don't confuse this one with Kino Notabi, The Beautiful World. This is another anime, also, made also where Kino is the star of the show, but this is not as good in my opinion as the more recent one. So make sure that it's called Kino Notabi, The Beautiful World, and then the animated series, okay? That's the most recent one. When did it come out? I actually don't know. It came out in 2017, so make sure that you have that one. But yeah, for real, this one is good. Really, really good. Okay, then we have new game. I decided that in this video I wanted to put a lot of slice of life stuff, and this is also a slice of life one, and this is, again, a cutesy one. But I feel like a lot of YouTubers just kind of, they just don't talk about it, and that's a shame, because there's a lot of good ones out there. For example, New Game. We follow a bunch of different awesome characters, all female, might I add. But we basically start out with Aoba, and she is going to work as a new employee for a gaming company called Eagle Jump. And there she meets, of course, all kinds of different colleagues who eventually she befriends. All of these colleagues have some sort of quirk, which makes them interesting which makes this show interesting, as you can imagine. And eventually her friend Nene starts working there too. And this is just very fun, very cute. Like, if you want to relax while watching anime instead of being at the edge of your seat, right? This is it. This is going to be it. And the cool thing is there's 2 seasons and the manga is finished. I own all of the physical volumes of New Game. That's how much I like it. And I've read all of them as well. Absolutely awesome. This is one of my favorite anime and manga series of all time. And for me, personally, this is one of the most hidden gems in my opinion. But hey, that's just my opinion. And then we end with one that I just had to include because a lot of people don't know this one, and I actually think a lot of people would enjoy this one. It's called B-Gata HK, and we follow a girl who has a very interesting goal. She wants to sleep with at least 100 men, basically in high school. This sounds weird. I am fully aware that this sounds weird, and I'm also fully aware that this might, like a lot of people might now not watch it, but hear me out. This is in no way, shape, or form like 18 plus. It sounds like it, I get that, but it's not. Furthermore, the girl that has this dream, Yamada, is incredibly, well, she is, like, how should I put it? She's incredibly shy. She has no experience in this field at all. So she might have this goal, but she has no experience whatsoever, being 15, which is quite a weird goal to begin with if you're 15. Yeah, so that's her goal, but she has no experience, and nothing at first will happen, really. She eventually meets this guy called Takashi, and he is, just like her, not at all skilled in what she wants to do, but she has set her eye on him because he is kind, and he's also plain. So she thinks that it must be very easy for her to to get him in this case. So basically, this whole anime and also the whole manga centers around Yamada and Takeshi. But as you can imagine, at first nothing really happens because he is dim-witted. He doesn't even understand that she's trying to do anything, and she is too shy. So the premise of the story might sound like something else than anime, if you catch my drift. But it turns out to be a very sweet romantic comedy with a lot of actually romance in it as well, and comedy and just fun stuff. So, does it sound weird? Yeah, fair enough. Is it worth it though? And is it very cute? Yes. So, give it a try. Even though it sounds weird, give it a try. Now, these were the 10 that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. I hope that you liked it. If you did, make sure to click on the like button. And if you have not subscribed yet, but you do like my channel, then well, subscribe. It helps me out more than you might think, and it helps you out too, because you get notified by when I make a new video if you click on the all notifications button. And actually, do me a favor before you leave. Could you comment in the comment section down below which of these you would actually want to watch? Did I manage to convince you to at least watch one? Leave that in the comments down below. Ladies and gentlemen, I was Razovy, and you were you, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.